Hey everyone, it's Triple Mango Threat, and today we're going over the cards to add and to remove from Planar Portal. If you'd like to purchase any of these cards, you can use the TCG link down below to help out the channel when you buy these. So the commander we're going over is Prosper Tome-Bound. For 2 black-red, we have a 1/4 Tiefling Warlock with Death Touch. At the beginning of our end step, we're going to exile the top card of our library, and until the end of our next turn, we can play it. Prosper also has, whenever we play a card from exile, we're going to create a treasure token. Let's talk about the cards I would add to the deck. So I leaned heavily into exiling our cards, and you can see this with Grotag Night Runner, Stromkirk Oculist, and Prophetic Flame Speaker. When we deal our opponent's combat damage with these creatures, we're going to be able to exile the top card of our library. Except those cards make it where we would have to play the exiled cards that turn or else we're going to lose them. The neat thing about Prophetic Flame Speaker is that it has double strike, so we're going to be able to exile the top 2 cards of our library and play them until end of turn. Galvanic Relay. It's a one-time use and it's going to let us exile the top card of our library. And Galvanic Relay is really cool because it has Storm. And since we're really involved with exiling our cards and we're making treasure tokens with our commander, when we cast cards from exile, it's likely we're going to have a lot of treasure tokens, so that means a lot of mana. And it's likely we're going to cast a lot of spells because we have all that mana. Speaking of treasure tokens, Zorn is a great way to get us more treasure tokens. When we create 1 or more treasure tokens, instead we create that many plus 1. So we'll have 2 treasure tokens from our commander when we play exiled cards. Outpost Siege. This is going to let us exile the top card of our library at our upkeep. We can play it until end of turn, and this is just one of the ways that red can really draw in Magic, since drawing in red is a rarity. Valakut Exploration. It has landfall, so whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control, we can exile the top card of our library, and we can play it as long as it remains exiled. At the beginning of our end step, the exiled cards from Valakut Exploration will go to their owner's grave, and then it will deal that much to each opponent. I like this one because playing a land is something we'll get to do, hopefully, every turn, and it gives us another card to possibly play. Chandra Fire Artisan. When a loyalty counter is removed from her, she'll deal that much damage to an opponent or planeswalker. But most importantly, her +1 is exile the top card of your library. You may play it until end of turn, and if we ult her, we're going to exile the top 7 of our library, and we can play all of them until end of turn, which means 7 damage to an opponent or a planeswalker. One of my favorites from this list is Omen Machine. This says players can't draw cards. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player exiles the top card of their library. If it's a land card, that player puts it onto the battlefield, otherwise that player casts it without paying its mana cost if available. I thought this was a sweet card because we're not drawing cards, we're exiling them. So this may hurt our opponents because they're no longer able to draw cards, but still, we're promoting what we're wanting to do. Worst case scenario is that they exile a really good card from the top of their library and they're able to cast it for free. But this can really shut down those blue players. This next one is actually a win con for the deck. It's Revel in Riches. If an opponent's creature dies, we get a treasure token, which doesn't really matter because of our commander making all the treasure tokens, but at the beginning of our upkeep, if we control 10 or more treasure tokens, we're going to win the game. And since we're adding so much red to the deck, I'm also adding 4 mountains. Now moving on to the cards I would remove from the deck, let's start with 4 swamps. There are a lot of red cards being added, so this is the balance I went with. Also, Zhalfirin Void. When it enters the battlefield, we can scry 1. I would rather just have a mountain or a swamp, but I see why they put it in the deck. Maybe you don't want to exile the top card, but again, this is one I would remove. Piper of the Swarm, Chittering Witch, and Ogre Slumlord. There's definitely a small theme of rat-focused cards, but I focused more on the exile theme, so these were easy to remove. Hex and Tysis. I wasn't a fan of the removal costing so much or even waiting 5 turns with Suspend to destroy a creature. If there's a threat early game, these are not going to help us. Pontiff of Blight. I thought this was an odd one in the deck. It has Extort and gives creatures we control Extort. I see, since we're making a lot of treasures with our commander, how this could work, but I don't think it worked with what I was going for. Shiny Impetus. This is going to make the enchanted creature get +2/+2 and goads it, and we get a treasure token when it attacks. I think if we focused on goading, this would stay in. Orazka Relic. We pay 3 for 1 colorless. Since we're exiling so many cards and making so many treasure tokens, I thought we could remove this one. And the last card is Loyal Apprentice. This is a great card for making artifacts that we could later sacrifice or even attack with, but I didn't see a fit in the deck for it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like any of these cards, you can use the TCG link down below to purchase them, and it helps out the channel at no additional cost to you. Thank you to the patrons for supporting this channel. When you become a $10 patron, you can get a free exclusive Ultra Sleeve each month. Be sure to comment down below what you thought of this video and subscribe for more Mango content. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.